Okay, great. So the writing contest that the Student Learning Commons runs is an annual contest that's open to undergraduate students at SFU. And in the 2024 year, this is our eighth annual contest. So we're super excited to be continuing with the contest. And it's always a great experience every year to get to read such strong student writing from across the disciplines at SFU. So the contest will open November 27th, which is tomorrow from the date of this recording. And students are able to enter papers into 4 different categories in the contest. The first 3 categories are determined based on the number of credits that students have completed as of September 1st of this year, so the beginning of this fall term. And so the first year category, students can enter that if they've completed between 0, so they're brand new in September, and 29 credits. The middle years category, students can enter if they've completed between 30 and 89 credits as of September 1st, and the fourth year category, students can enter if they've completed 90 plus credits as of September 1st. And then the last category of the contest is the only one that's not determined based on credits that students have completed. This is the plurilingual prize of the contest. And we have actually a whole separate page of information about this prize. The intention of this prize is to showcase strong student writing that plays with language and writing strategies in some way. So students do not have to identify themselves as plurilingual, multilingual, or bilingual to enter this category of the contest, but instead their paper that they're submitting is doing something interesting with language. So it may be that there's multiple languages incorporated, and that can be sometimes like a fairly familiar thing in some disciplines of writing. For example, it might use some Latin terminology or terminology from another language like Greek that is kind of foundational to a discipline, and then unpack that and talk about it in English. But it may also be doing like more creative, more genre bending type things as well. So we're excited to see what students make of this category. And for this one category only, students can also submit a paper that they write specifically for the contest if they want, and they're excited about that possibility. But for all the other categories, and this one, they can do this as well. Students are actually submitting papers that they've already written and submitted to a course at SFU in 2024. So it doesn't need to be a new paper, but they can revise their paper from their course. This is really important, particularly if it doesn't meet some aspect of the contest criteria. So they can revise a paper to bring in more plurilingualism. We have had students who have talked to us about the fact that they write, like, for example, a first draft in their home language, and then they translate and revise into English. And so one option for the plurilingual prize would be to kind of merge those versions and have multiple languages playing together in a document, which would be a revision from the paper that was submitted to the class. Where we hear, though, that students tend to do the most revision is in making sure that their paper is within the word count for the contest. So we do have a word count for the contest. The papers have to be at least 1,250 words long, and they have to be no longer than 2,520 words. If the papers are more than 20 words over or less than 20 words, more than 20 words under, sorry, then we will get in touch with the students and ask them to revise. And they can come to the Student Learning Commons to have a consultation to help with that revision process. In fact, that's encouraged. One last thing to just note about the contest, I mentioned that it's going to open tomorrow, November 27th. We are open for submissions until December 23rd, and then we have a brief period of being closed to submissions during the holidays when the university is closed. And then we reopen for submissions between January 2nd and the 5th, 2025. But we do only accept the first 25 papers in each category. So there is a little bit of an uncertainty there, because if we hit 25 papers before the deadline of January 5th, then we will close a category, that category that has hit 25 papers. And those parameters that we have around it, like only accepting 25 and having the word counts that we have, are in place just out of, I guess, respect and appreciation for our judges, who are all volunteer faculty members from the university. So we don't want to make their experience with the contest onerous. And then one last thing that I'll just say about the contest is that you can access all of the previous contest winners' papers through this journal portal. And I really want to put that on the radar of instructors, because I hope that these will be useful teaching resources as examples of really strong undergraduate writing in writing that plays with different language and writing strategies in the plurilingual prize, and then strong writing at the first year level, strong writing at the middle years level, and strong writing at the fourth year level. So these can be really useful teaching resources to provide to students, especially if you notice a paper that is in your disciplinary area. So I encourage you to make use of those. And then, sorry, I said lastly, but actually lastly, I realized I didn't actually say, what do you win if you win the contest? So in each category, we have a first and second prize, which is a monetary prize. First prize is $200 and second prize is $150. And we also award honorable mentions in each category. The number of honorable mentions that's given is up to the judge's discretion. So usually it's between 2 and 4 honorable mentions. And all of the winning papers and honorable mentions are published in this open access journal. And all of the students who wrote those papers are invited to a closing celebration in March to be awarded their prize and to be celebrated for their accomplishments. So that's my overview of the contest. This is the first year we're doing an info session for instructors, and we're doing it because we have heard over the last and many years that we've run the contest that the most helpful thing for students is to have someone tell them that they think their paper should be entered in the contest or has a strong chance in the contest. It's vulnerable to submit your work, so having an instructor or a TA say, oh, this is a really strong paper, I really hope you'll think about entering it into the writing contest, makes a big difference in them mustering up the courage to actually submit. So we hope that instructors will feel empowered to take on that role and encourage their students when they see strong work. And strong work doesn't mean that it has to be perfect. It just has to be exemplary in doing something interesting, creative, showcasing excellent student work at that level. So that's my overview, and I am very happy to answer any questions that you might have. I will.
So